Mr. Dudek, you're up.
Ed Dudek.
You're here for,
I'd like to either remove the restrictions on my hours or change them.
you want to give us a reason why?
What do you want to change? What do you want to change them from and to?
Right now, I guess it's 8 to 5. I'd like to make it 7 to 7. It's hard to run a business from exactly 8 to 5 and get everything done you need to get done. And now the construction on 28 by exit 5 is slowing things down quite a bit. Trucks coming in and out of my place. Sometimes my drives will sit over there up to 20 minutes waiting to get back in or leave to get back on the highway. And in the mornings, I do things in the morning when it's quiet and nobody's around, and I guess somebody's going to constitute as running my business, but I'm just there taking care of things I need to take care of. I'm usually there by myself, and I don't understand all this noise that I'm making. I just don't understand that. I mean, I don't understand how I'm making noise. He talks about throwing the metal in the back of a pickup truck. We had Frank do a study on that one time with a noise meter, and it was determined that it was very low. In the same instance, maybe within minutes, a helicopter will fly over his house, an airplane will fly over his house, a truck will drive by, a motorcycle will drive by. I'm sure he doesn't complain about any of those things. It's just this harassment that I get over and over again. No matter what I do, I can't do anything right there. And I'm just trying to run my business and feed my family, and my employees are trying to, make a living and feed their families. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to harass anybody in town. And the funny thing is that nobody else ever complains except the Adams. It's just mind-boggling to me that nobody else can hear except him. He must have these incredible ears. And all I'm trying to do is run my business. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to bother anybody. I'm trying to make the place as nice as possible. He talks about the truck coming in. Well, it was some trucking company bringing dirt in, fill. He doesn't know what my hours are. We didn't think to tell him. I didn't know they were going to show up at 7:15 or 7:20. When I went back in my office, I was back in my office. I didn't even hear it running. I thought he shut it off, but he didn't. The police came to tell me that his truck was still running. Well, I didn't know it was still running. If I'd noticed, I would have told him to shut it off, because I know it bothered Jerry. Everything bothers Jerry. I just don't understand, the sign. I mean, everybody else in town, if they're doing work on their house, they put a sign up saying, hey, I'm working in this guy's house. Give me a call if you need work done in your house. That's not my sign. It has nothing to do with the court order. I didn't put a sign up. The water in the back, that's the town did that. I talked to John Trottier about that, and the town's working on it because something's going on with the bridge right there, and the water's too high. Because when we put the cars there was no water. The water came in from all the rain we've been getting, and it hasn't receded yet because of the cohosts and the beavers and the bridge there. And I've been in touch with the DES, and I've been in touch with John Trottier. And the DES has been in touch with the Fish and Game. I don't want it looking like that I'm just throwing my cars in the water. Please, I know way better than that. And if I had room, I'd move them out of there. But the water isn't that high. It's just at the rocket panels. It's not like they're underwater.
Ed, can I stop you for a minute?
Sure.
Dave, can you check with Public Works and have John give us an email through you that confirms that there's a engineering issue related to the water flow, and if you could also back that up with something from Fish and Game. We do know that the dam causes this problem, beavers cause this problem. If there's just some credence to, I understand there could be a significant issue, DES is looking at it, and I'm mindful that your contact with DES may tell you what this story is too. But
Ed, who'd you speak with at DES? Ed?
Oh, Carl Woodbury.
Same guy.
so if you
That's
could,
his department.
if you could just get back that that information back to the council, Dave, I'd appreciate it.
Is that the same Carl that
Same Carl.
Mr. Adams mentioned?
There's only one.
He's the supervisor that's filling in for the other gentleman.
Okay, Ed, I'm sorry, just wanted to get that in while we're there.
So I'd just like to change my hours so I'm not going to get harassed by this person across the street from me, because it's funny, the LeBlancs live next door to him. They never seem to hear anything. I mean, they live right next door. I don't understand, if it's so bad, how come they don't hear anything? I mean, I go in the back of the yard on the Monday, the recent Monday, they had just poured the footings, and they ripped up all the boards that were holding them together, and they threw them in the walkway at the end of the day. We had to close the gate up because we had to close the gate by 5 to get out of there. So that morning, I wanted to make sure there was no boards out there because there was nails in them, because tires are very expensive in my trucks. I don't need to get any nails in them. I went out there to move the boards. And then I'm out there, admiring what's going on. I'm excited about it. And to say I'm working out there, I don't understand this. I mean, it's like I have this microscope on me at all hours of the day. If I show up on a Sunday, it's my property. If I want to show up there and go in there and get something for myself, I own that place. I should be able to show up there. I'm getting tired of this person watching me and watching me and watching me. It's just ridiculous. All I'm trying to do is run my business and make a living like everybody else in America.
David? In regards to his request, is there a formal procedure we need to follow to bring that to, I mean, since there was an original conditions that we had, when we went through it and we had public hearings and so forth, granting the license, is there a process like that we need to follow to
I'll need to check.
determine if we need to, if we approve it, or even if we don't? I mean, do we have to put it through a public hearing?
If you don't want to consider the request, I'm sure there's no public hearing necessary. If you
Alright.
do, I've got to check with town council to see if you're reopening the application or not, the license application. I don't know.
Okay,
I'll have to find information out from the council.
okay.
I'd like that information before I
Yeah.
decide one way or another whether I even want to consider. I
Okay.
want to know the process.
I would agree.
Mike?
This is a tough one. It's challenging for you, Mr. Dudak, and challenging for at least one of your neighbors. When we revised the conditions, it was my hope that the revisions that we made, which I think, you may disagree with me, but I think actually made it less burdensome on you than it was previously. Particularly some rewording that put the council in a position where any specific failure could have had your license removed. So I think we made a conscious decision to make to try to find a good balance between the conditions that you were being put under versus other businesses in town, bumped up against the unique situation that we're dealing with. You are a businessman trying to make a living. That is the American way. That is something that's easily understood, except your business is in a location that makes it very difficult to just apply that easily. It's not easy to apply that. So when I look at the hours that we consciously looked at and said, this is what we want for the operations of your particular business and your particular situation, personally, I was interested in having that stay in effect for the next year, until March, so we could make an assessment of how things went. So, while a couple violations that may or may not have been out of your control because you've got a vendor coming to your place and they didn't know your hours, it's still a couple violations, so it makes it difficult for me at this stage to say, with violations presented to me, I'm now going to increase the hours, because I don't have anything telling me that if we increase the hours, we won't have someone there at 5:45, 6:45 one day, and we've got another fine under a new set of hours. So I'll agree with the rest of the council. If they want to go find out what the process would be, that's fine, but right now, I personally would prefer to leave it the way it is and recognize that those two instances where you were summoned indicates that maybe some kind of change in